Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. For today's video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the all-new Genesis G90 5.0 Ultimate. In this review, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs, take it for a thorough drive, and show you many of the unique aspects throughout the interior as well as exterior. Before we begin, a special thanks to AutoNation for providing this opportunity. For more information regarding dealerships in your area, current inventory, and more, feel free to check out AutoNation.com or click the link in the description box below. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. The Genesis G90 can be thought of as the spiritual successor or second generation of the Hyundai Equus. It competes in the full-size luxury category alongside the BMW 7 Series, Mercedes S-Class, Cadillac CT6, Lincoln Continental, and more. Now, while some of those competitors might seem more likely than others, the key thing to take away here is value. It sets out to offer a similar level of amenities and passenger space that you would expect to find in some of the competition, but at a more attainable price. This car was first launched as an all-new model for the 2017 model year. It spearheaded the introduction of Hyundai's all-new luxury brand, Genesis. They've basically done what Toyota did with Lexus back in the day and Nissan did with Infiniti, create a dedicated luxury brand. The G90 is positioned at the top. The Hyundai Genesis has been rebranded to the Genesis G80, and soon to come out is the compact sports sedan called the G90. A lot of exciting stuff. There's so many things that I want to cover with this car, especially when it comes to the interior and the rear seats, so be sure to stay tuned for that. The G90's price structure is honestly quite brilliant. It's so simple and straightforward. Usually you'll have a base model, which at that point you can outfit with a whole catalog worth of options, but with the G90 you don't have that, just two very well-equipped trim levels. The $68,350 Premium or the $71,850 Ultimate. There are some differences between the two, and I'll talk about those as we go through the video, but in short, the Ultimate does come standard with the V8 and a whole bunch of other creature comforts in the back seat, which are super cool. Other than that, the two cars are one and the same. Even from the outside, aside from that little 5.0 badge on the trunk lid, the two cars are indistinguishable. The cool thing about this price structure is that everything is standard. There are no additional optional features. Everything is included, right down to the floor mats and first aid kit. The only option that you can go for is whether you want all-wheel drive or not, and it's a $2,500 option. That means, including a destination charge of $995, total pricing for this example would be $72,845. The G90 comes with 19-inch turbine-style alloy wheels. It's the only style available. They measure 8.5 inches wide in front and 9.5 inches wide in the rear. As far as tires, all seasons come as standard equipment. Two 45/45s in front and two 75/40s in the rear. The wheels are actually a two-piece hollow design that features a built-in sound absorption chamber. This innovative resonance effect helps absorb tire noise and lead to a quieter interior while helping reduce unsprung weight by 7 pounds. The G90 is fitted with 4-wheel internally ventilated disc brakes, along with 4-channel 4-sensor ABS and electronic brake force distribution. 4-piston calipers clamp down the 14.8-inch front discs on V8 models and 14.2-inch front discs on V6 models. Both utilize 13.4-inch rear discs along with twin-piston calipers. The G90's rack-mounted motor-driven power steering system replaces a conventional hydraulic setup with one that's electrically assisted. What's pretty cool here is that it's also able to vary the steering ratio, so as you turn it back and forth, the gear ratios adjust by section to provide maximum high-speed stability and low to mid-speed agility. Out on the road, you'll notice that the steering is light, it's easy to turn, but it's also very precise. You can also adjust the steering firmness through the drive modes, which I'll talk about more in just a moment. Underneath the G90 is an independent multi-link suspension. At each corner you'll find a 5-link design along with adaptive dampers. There's even solid stabilizer bars front and rear. The dampers work in the background to smooth out road imperfections and keep the ride pretty well composed. That being said, it does ride on the soft side. This is not a sporty car, it's tuned more for comfort. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of a town car, but in a good way. There are some competitors out there that do offer a sportier feel, such as the Cadillac CT6, but if long-term comfort is more of a priority for you, then the G90 is definitely worth a look, especially if you plan on driving mostly on the highway. It feels like you're riding on air. The G90's body structure is pretty rigid, helping benefit ride quality, handling, and interior noise levels. It's composed of 52% high-strength steel and more than 650 feet of structural adhesives. They actually claim that the body is lighter and stronger than the Mercedes S-Class, while boasting a 6% increase in static torsional stiffness. The G90 is offered with a choice between two engines. In the G90 Premium, you'll find a stout 3.3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 that pumps out 365 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 376 pound-feet of torque between 1,300 and 4,500 RPM. On the other hand, the G90 Ultimate is powered by a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 with 420 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 383 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. Both engines are constructed using aluminum for their blocks and heads and feature dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, dual continuous variable valve timing, and direct fuel injection. Out on the road, both engines offer similar acceleration with 0 to 60 times hovering around 5.3 seconds. At the end of the day, it really boils down to personal preference. If you're more old school like myself, you'll appreciate the more relaxed nature of the V8 and the distinctive sound. One downside is that the V8 is of course the less efficient option. While the difference isn't much, the V6 does return better fuel economy. The V8 averages around 19 miles per gallon in rear-wheel drive models and 18 miles per gallon in all-wheel drive models. The V6 returns an average of 20 miles per gallon for both drivetrains. The engines are more than capable to run on regular fuel, but to extract peak performance you'll have to use premium. Total tank capacity is 21.9 gallons. Both engines are mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Rear-wheel drive is standard, while all-wheel drive is optional, again for both engines. The transmission is responsive and silky smooth. You barely even notice it shifting. There's also a set of shift paddles mounted on the back of the steering wheel. The G90 also comes with 4 driver-selectable modes that alter transmission mapping, throttle responsiveness, suspension, steering, stability control, and, if equipped, the all-wheel drive system. Eco prioritizes fuel economy, Smart is an adaptive function that adjusts the different parameters based on your driving style, Sport focuses on making the car feel more dynamic, while Individual allows you to customize all of the various settings. The G90 is packed with thoughtful details. Along with a standard proximity key system, all of the doors feature a built-in soft close mechanism. The build quality is phenomenal. What isn't wrapped in leather is finished off in some form of high-quality padded material. There's genuine wood trim, metal accents, and a microfiber suede headliner. Even the windows, when you roll them down, slow up right before they get to the bottom so they don't make any loud noises. The interior is available with 2 color themes, black or beige. The overall design leans more towards the traditional side. I love the clean horizontal layout of the dashboard and how the center stack starts up high and gently flows down into the center console. A primary focus was making everything easy to operate. The leather-wrapped dashboard is a nice touch, as is the analog clock. This thing feels like a proper luxury car. It is absolutely serene out on the road. The interior is protected by 9 airbags, including dual front airbags, front and rear seat-mounted side airbags, a driver's knee airbag, and roof-mounted side curtain airbags. There's also a ton of standard driver assistance technology. Things like automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise control with stop-start, a multi-view camera, full-color heads-up display, lane keep assist, automatic high beams, and more. You'd be hard-pressed not to find a comfortable seating position in the Genesis with a standard 22-way power driver's seat, which includes lumbar and power adjustments for shoulder, thigh, and side support. The passenger seat is 16-way adjustable, the headrests are power adjusting, and the steering wheel is power adjusting for both tilt and reach. At the heart of the G90's interior is a 12.3-inch high-def display that includes navigation and a breadth of infotainment features. Unlike some competitors, the G90 is not offered with an in-car Wi-Fi hotspot, Apple CarPlay, or Android Auto. Between the central control knob and the array of hard buttons and knobs, the system is super easy to use. It's also quite responsive. Satellite radio and HD radio are standard, along with Bluetooth, Genesis connected services, voice recognition technology, and more. Also standard is a Lexicon premium audio system with Quantum Logic surround sound. It includes 17 speakers, a 10-inch subwoofer, and Clarify music restoration technology. There's intricate metal speaker grills found throughout, and the whole system sounds fantastic. The G90's Tri-Zone automatic climate control system offers complete personalization for the driver, front passenger, and rear passengers. This means you can not only individually control temperature, but fan speed, the zone that it's all coming out of, and the automatic function. Behind the central control knob, you have buttons to activate the 3-stage heated and ventilated front seats, the 2-stage heated steering wheel, and the power rear sunshade. To the right of the shifter is a little compartment that houses a wireless phone charging tray, as well as a USB and auxiliary input. As far as practicality, the Genesis offers a pretty good amount of space up front. There's 2 cup holders, a large locking glove box, wide door pockets, and a generous amount of console space. Within the console, there's a removable tray and 2 power outlets. So that's pretty much it for the front. Now let's head towards the rear and talk about everything that sets the G90 Ultimate apart from the G90 Premium. As you've seen so far, the G90 comes with an impressive list of standard features. There are of course some competitors out there that go even more over the top with things like massage seats and perfume atomizers, but comparing price for what you get, you just cannot beat the G90's value. Aside from the engine, there's only one real difference between the G90 Premium and the Ultimate, and it lies within the back seat. The Ultimate is packed with a ton of exclusive content to create an even more luxurious environment that's honestly perfect for chauffeuring people around. For example, there's a rear seat entertainment system with dual 10.3-inch high-definition monitors. In addition to the standard heated rear seats, the Ultimate adds a ventilated function. The right side seat offers 14-way power adjustments, while the left side offers 12-way power adjustments. The headrests are powered with manual tilt, and there's an integrated memory system for both of the outboard seats. Up in the headliner, you'll also find illuminated vanity mirrors. Both the Premium and the Ultimate come standard with a suite of power rear sunshades. There's a set on both doors and one at the back window. What's pretty cool about this setup is that each door has 2 switches, meaning that if you're sitting on one side, you can operate the window and the sunshades on the opposite side of the vehicle with just the flip of a switch. It's super convenient. All of your rear seat power adjustments can be found on either side of the fold-down center console, including 4-way lumbar. Without a doubt, the most standout feature back here is the ability to recline the right side seat to a greater degree than the left side. In order to do that, you slide the front passenger seat forward and tip the backrest forward, and it creates limousine-like levels of interior space. The best part about it, it's all done by just the touch of a button. Also, there's a set of buttons on the side of the passenger seat if you wanted to fine-tune its position. Again, you can recline the left side of the rear seat as well, just not to such an extreme, enough to kick back and relax on a long trip. The back seat in general is exceptionally comfortable as you would expect, with good well-rounded support. The back seat of the G90 can sit 3 people comfortably, but if you wanted to fold down the console, you get access to all of the infotainment features, climate control, and good storage towards the rear. There's 4 power outlets in total, including 1 USB charging port, and along with the Tri-Zone climate control system, you have 2 adjustable air vents in the forward console, 2 vents up in the B-pillars, and of course, floor vents to help keep everybody comfortable. The rear seat entertainment system is basically a carbon copy of the infotainment system found up in the dash. It works in the exact same way, has all of the same features, including navigation. You can also watch movies thanks to a DVD player mounted in the glove box. The G90's trunk lid is power operated. It also includes a smart access feature that, let's say you had your arms full and you walk up to the back of the vehicle, as long as you have the key fob in your pocket, it'll recognize you after a couple of seconds and open the trunk automatically, making it super easy to load cargo. As far as storage space, you have 15.7 cubic feet worth, which is pretty decent. Unfortunately, you can't fold down the rear seat for extra cargo space, but there is a trunk pass-through if you have more narrow, longer items to put in. There's some cargo tie downs up top and down below, and underneath the trunk floor you have more shallow storage, a spare tire, all of the changing equipment, and a rear mounted battery. There's some additional smaller storage nets to either side. Now let's go ahead and see how she sounds. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the Genesis G90. Be sure to stay tuned next time, leave a like and subscribe today if you haven't already. There's always a lot more where that came from. Take care everyone.